film.
I'm sick of it! I'm done!
A mom enraged.
What is wrong with you? Get out of my face!
By a daughter who stole from her.
You're forging checks.
I did ask for some money to get things that I needed.
You didn't ask for money, you extorted money.
You won't believe what it took.
Did you make your flight?
Oh, not the first one.
To get her to the show.
I'd get a security guard to stay with you. You run away from security. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Wendy says her 23-year-old daughter is always the center of attention. A killer salesperson, and her bosses just love her. But behind closed doors, Stephanie is a bully who has been abusive and manipulative for years. She says her daughter's behavior is so out of control that she actually fears for her safety and has to hide in her bedroom with the door locked.
You stop it right now or I'm calling the cops. You hear me? There's no reason for you to be doing this. There's no reason for you to be a dumb.
But Stephanie says it's her mother who is always yelling and acting psycho.
I can't take it anymore. It's all about you. It's all about you.
So it's helping to yell at me?
Shut the up.
I'm asking you if we could resolve this without screaming.
No! Leave me alone! Sick of it! I'm not doing this. No, I don't care. No, you're not doing this. No, you're not doing that. Since you're 12, I'm done!
Well, Wendy kicked her daughter out and even filed a temporary restraining order against her. But it was dismissed after Wendy failed to show up for court. The drama did not stop there. Stephanie demanded that her mother allow her to move back into her home or she would not get on the plane to come here to the show. After hours of the two negotiating back and forth, Wendy finally agreed. But as soon as Stephanie arrived at the house, wait for it, the fighting started again, even though Wendy said she would bite her tongue and not argue.
I don't trust you for a stick. I'm bringing something good. When you get to here, I'll open the door and go away from me. Get away from me. Now, or I won't go.
Well, that didn't sound like she bit her tongue too hard. The battle continued into the next day when Stephanie demanded her mother give her $50 for food and gas. Now, after days of drama that even dragged my staff into it, 2 missed flights, 1 missing guest, and fights that happened up until the plane took off, they finally made it to Los Angeles to get the help they claimed they needed, they claimed they wanted. Take a look.
My daughter, Stephanie, is a bully. She's totally out of control.
Leave me the alone!
Stephanie has 2 speeds, anger and manipulation.
What do you want from me? Trying to stay in my room because you said to get away.
Every day, Stephanie is cursing at me,
You're a bitch.
slamming things.
Stop banging on my door.
I've had to call the police so many times I cannot even remember. Stephanie has been arrested 5 or more times for kidnapping, reckless driving, breaking and entering, and petty theft. I've had to kick my daughter out of the house 3 or 4 times. Those occasions that I've kicked Stephanie out of the house, she's broken back in. I told Stephanie, I can't trust you. I can't turn my back. I can't leave my keys. I can't leave anything unlocked because she'll take it. Stephanie emptied my bank account in the amount of $13,000. The final straw was when I discovered she had taken my credit cards.
Get away from me now, or I won't go.
I don't feel safe. I had to put an eviction notice on Stephanie's bedroom door. Stephanie has not lived at my house for about 8 weeks. I filed a temporary restraining order against Stephanie. I am at my wit's end.
I'm done!
What do you suppose is the matter with this girl?
I've been trying to figure it out for years, and I've been talking to people, I'm researching, and I believe there's a family history of some sort of developmental disability.
But you're the family.
Yeah, she has a cousin. Yeah, well, I might have some of it too. I don't know. But she has a cousin that died at age 27 because he couldn't cope, just like her.
What in the environment do you think could be contributing to this?
Well, I know I didn't have good parenting. You know, stronger boundaries. But I punished. I followed through on my punishment. I trained 4 dogs perfectly. I figured I could train a person.
She just won't stay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Let's grade your paper here. You had a psychiatrist in the first or second grade that thought she was ADHD. You had a multidisciplinary study done at age 8. You had trouble focusing. You did audiological, psychological, and psychoeducational testing at 8. You sent her to day program with a school and therapy in the 9th grade. You admitted to a school for challenged children in the 10th grade. You had her Baker acted in September of 07, 08, and March, April of 09. You sent her to a residential treatment center in 09. You've kicked her out 3 or 4 times, said that's enough. So you stood your ground, said you got to get out. You filed a temporary restraining order, but then you didn't show up for it, so that got dropped. You wrote to me 14 times, right? But then I saw the videotape and the audio tape, and I want to hear that again.
But you're not taking it anymore. It's all about you. It's all about you.
So it's helping to yell at me?
Shut the up.
I'm asking you if we could resolve this without screaming.
No, leave me alone.
In your parenting research,
No. No.
which school of thought did that
No.
advocated that particular approach?
That wasn't my parent. That was not my parenting. That was me. I'm done.
Now, in the temporary restraining order, you made these allegations against her. You said, she broke into my house. She was previously kicked out for constant verbal abuse and physically threatening behavior. She's been stealing my prescribed medication. I fear for my safety. She's abusive, aggressive, and manipulative. So you're not really done?
No, I'm really done. Only reason I let her back in the house and let her know that the restraining order was off was because I could get her out here. She had agreed to come here.
Do you watch this show a lot?
Yeah.
A lot?
A lot.
Okay. And you wrote in for 14 times.
Yeah.
And then we got in touch with you and said, okay, we need some information. We got in touch with you. We said, all right, we're doing this. And we couldn't get you to respond.
Me? I didn't respond?
It took 5 hours. You said, I'll have to get back to you. I'm in a hyperbaric chamber.
Oh, for an hour.
Well, but it took, you weren't in it for 5 hours.
No, I was in it for an hour.
But it took you 5 hours. We were asking for information. Because that's why I ask you if you watch this show. You know I do my homework. I ask for medical information, discharge summaries, documents, everything. Because I don't take anybody's word for anything. I want documents. I'm in a hyperbaric chamber. Can't get to you.
Yeah, no, I had to get out and get home and get what I could. But it was a surprise to me that you needed that kind of detailed information. That I didn't know. And I didn't have that stuff.
You wrote 14 times.
Yeah.
And you didn't know that Okay,
That
let's
came.
take a break. We're going to meet Wendy's daughter and find out why she says her mother's crazy behavior is constantly pushing her over the edge. And when she goes over the edge, she goes over the edge. We'll find out what that all means when we come back.
No, you're not supposed to scream and yell. I watch your show.
We're not learning.
Well,
But
if this is the product of watching my show, they're
No,
going to cancel my ass before the end of the hour.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil.
The media has dubbed him the frat boy cannibal killer.
Accused of a savage attack and double murder.
The report is he's tearing pieces of his face with his teeth, growling like an animal.
The boy's father speaks out.
I grabbed it and I said, "What is wrong with you?" And he reared back.
Behind the horrific headlines.
He was saying he had superpowers. He grabbed a bottle of Wesson and was going to drink it.
That's tomorrow.
After my car accident, insurance offered $50,000. Selena and Barnes got me.
My daughter is always making demands and trying to control me. She's very bossy.
Get away from me! Now!
Everything with her is dramatic. Nothing's ever okay with her.
Don't touch my stuff! None of it!
You're screaming at me like a crazy person. She does not acknowledge that she has issues.
Wendy says she had to kick her 23-year-old daughter, Stephanie, out of the house because her daughter's behavior made her fear for her own safety. But Stephanie says her mother is the one who is crazy one minute and nice and calm the next.
My mom is crazy, very psycho.
Stop! Taking it anymore! Stop!
screaming constantly over just everything, like the house is on fire. We are constantly getting into fights every single day. I'll say, she goes, you're such a bitch.
You threw my glasses away.
Yeah, because
What's wrong with you?
you're screaming at me, bitch.
Get out of my face.
I always feel like there's something wrong with me because she's constantly telling me that there is. She's always trying to diagnose me with multiple disorders. She had cops come, put me in handcuffs, take me to the hospital, being locked away in facilities. My mom has sent me places like 20, 30 times. She's always complaining about something physically wrong, mentally wrong, everything going wrong all the time. I don't know what diseases she has, but I see her go dancing with her boyfriend on the weekend. You're not in that much pain. I stole a lot of money from her. I wrote checks. I have a lot of resentment toward my mom. My mom kicked me out of the house about 3 weeks ago. For the last 3 weeks, I've been sleeping in my car at a friend's. My mom needs to stop being crazy, but I don't know if she can change who she is.
You are an idiot!
Okay, Stephanie, you've been watching so far. So what's going on here?
I know that I have issues, anger issues, impulse issues, stuff like that. And I acknowledge that, and I acknowledge that I need help with that. And I feel like it takes two, and I don't feel like she acknowledges her part in this relationship.
Okay. Well, you've heard me already talking to her about her part of this.
Yeah.
I think you brought her here for me to get her fixed up, polished up, and send her back home so she would behave herself.
I know better than that it's one-sided, but yes. I think she needs evaluation.
Let's say I did that. Let's say, she says she's got issues, and I agree. I'm going to talk about some of those in a minute. But let's say we did that, got her all fixed up, shined up, put a little bow on her, and brought her home. And you were saying, you threw my glasses away! I mean, that would kind of get all back in a problem again, right?
Yes, but you have to understand, I am at the end of my rope. I've been dealing with this for 23 years. It's like, I have PTSD from having to take what she's brought to me.
23 years? She's only 23.
Yeah.
I'll get back to you.
Okay.
You're doing some really unacceptable things.
Yes.
In just January and February of this year, we're just talking about a bit ago, you started altering checks. Check 224, Wendy originally wrote out the check for $25.
Right.
Stephanie altered the check, adding 100, and the number 1 before the original amount, making the new amount $125. Then check 231, Wendy originally wrote out the check for $25. Stephanie altered the check, adding 2. And the number 2 before the original amount, making the new amount $225. You forged 317 for $100, 318, $200, check 320, 200, 322, 200, 323, 200, 324, 200, 326, 300, 328, 200, 330, 300, 331, 2,000, 333, 300, 334, 2,000, 336, 1,000, 337, 2,000, 338, 3,000, then another one for 200 for a total of $12,400 by the time you got through with all of this.
When it was like the 3,000, my car broke down, and that's when I was kicked out of the house, and I had nowhere to like get anywhere. So that's when I did that. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just telling you.
I mean, do you think she'll put you in jail?
Yeah, I think she would, but she hasn't.
You chose an avenue where you believed you could go to jail for 5 years.
Which is irrational thinking.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out what your thinking is, what your problem solving is. Because I've seen what hers is.
That's only recent.
Mom, I heard in the tape that you said that you were yelling at me like that for just these past, whatever you said, I don't remember how long. That's how
but
you
in the beginning,
are.
I know you're not supposed to scream and yell. I watch your show. I do other things to try and teach myself how to be.
Well, you're not learning.
Well, if this is the product of watching my show, they're going to cancel my ass before the end of the hour.
I didn't say I was successful. That was in the beginning.
Stephanie went missing 3 days before the show. She also missed 2 flights and ditched a security guard. What the hell is going on? We're going to talk about what's happened behind the scenes with our staff with these two after the break.
My mom constantly is always negative. Something's always wrong. Something's always going bad. Can you stop yelling at me?
No! No!
We fight about stupid things. I feel like the fighting will never stop.
There's no reason for you to be a dumb bitch!
What did John Benet's young brother reveal to investigate?
The police did talk to Burke, unbeknownst to the Ramsey family.
It's been 20 years. What I'd like to do is show you some footage from that interview. Nobody in the world has seen this before. This was 13 days after John Benet's murder.
The never-before-seen interrogation tapes of Burke Ramsey.
What do you think happened to your sister?
On WENY CBS.
The day before we were supposed to come to the show, Stephanie said, I'm not going to go to the show if I can't live at home.
I asked my mom to let me come home in order to go on the show. I needed a place to stay.
I finally had to let her back in the house. Then she was demanding that I give her money. She left me a note. Please leave $50 for cigs and gum and snack. I really need gas and get errands done. Smiley face. She's made my life a living hell.
And you have made ours a living hell. We've had on about, 20,000 guests. And generally, they're really very thankful because they're usually in dire straits. And they go, oh my God, help has arrived. And they're very grateful. And you said you were very grateful.
Very.
Sometimes we have extensive requests because we want a lot of information. And people are like, oh, of course, give us all this information. And then there's you two. And they tell me you have the tendency to run off and disappear. And I say, well, this is a young woman coming to Hollywood. I don't know if you've ever been here, but there's some weird people around. So I say, I don't want her being in harm's way, so I don't usually do this, but I say, get a security. I don't want her, be sure she has security. I don't want her going off on a lark and being at risk. So you you run away from security.
Yeah, I talked to them about it over and over. We're back and forth about it. The staff was very helpful about it. They agreed that it was okay for me to be on my own.
No, they didn't.
Yeah.
I did not get a security guard that Stephanie was calling, but also needed her help, as she was the parent at the time. 103, Lisa called Wendy again because she had not seen any documents or called the hospitals to give us medical authorization. Wendy told Lisa that she was driving and did not want to help and kept saying it's 4:30 on a Friday. Everyone was closed. Lisa told her to call anyway. She then said she was in a hyperbaric chamber getting treatment. We later found out the treatment was for Lyme disease, 245. I called Wendy again, and she still had not sent us any documents. She was still in her hyperbaric chamber. I asked when she would be finished with her hyperbaric treatment, as we needed the discharge papers. Wendy said she needed to get her hyperbaric treatment or she would not have energy to function. But she said she would cut it short and finish in 30 minutes. 3:15, she calls her again. She was still in her treatment. You said it was an hour. This started at 12:50. 3:24 p.m. Wendy started sending documents from the chamber. But these were things you typed out. We didn't want what was typed out. We said, no, no, no. That's not the information we're looking for. We only needed discharge documents. 7:06. Finally, we get discharge documents. 7:06. We started at 12:50. Okay, then we see that we have a copy of a temporary restraining order filed against the daughter. Okay, at that point, we stop. I respect court documents. If you have a TRO against your daughter, I'm not having you on the show.
I thought it was just to keep her out of my house, not that I couldn't meet with her.
That's what you told us.
I didn't know
But that's not what it says.
No, I didn't know that.
It says you can't be in each other's presence. You said, well, it's been dismissed. I didn't show up for it. Well, then there's a dismissal document. Well, so then we have to spend all of these hours till finally at 5:53, we finally get a dismissal document that says it has been dismissed. And you know why I'm pointing this out? Would you like to know?
Absolutely.
Because how you behave with us is a mirror to how you behave in your lives.
So yeah, I did ask for some money to get things that I needed.
You didn't ask for money, you extorted money. Did you make your flight?
I guess not the first one.
Closed captioning provided by...
Oh my God.
Would you like to win $7,000 a week for life?
Where we serve, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
The chaos that you introduce here is a reflection of the chaos that you have in your own life.
Can I make
You're extorting money from her to get on the plane to come here. You're forging checks.
Yeah, I was out of gas and I don't get paid till Friday. So yeah, I wanted gas. So yeah, I did ask for some money to get things that I needed.
You didn't ask for money, you extorted money.
This is exactly what I said. I said, can you do this? I would get to the airport a lot faster. I'll make the flight, and I guess it got late. But
well, here's your demand. You said, please leave $50 for cigarettes, gum, and snacks, etc. I really need gas to get errands done. Okay? Then the negotiations started. And then she says she's not going. And then we start all the drama of making flights, right? Mm-hmm. Did you make your flight?
Oh, I guess not the first one, but I was at the airport.
You said you told the AP, you said, I'm 10 minutes from the airport, right?
Yeah.
And where were you? You showed up 30 minutes later.
I mean, I told her when I got to the airport.
You missed your flight.
I didn't miss the flight. They pushed it back just to make sure I can get through security in time. I was at the airport.
You made us change the first flight. We had to book another flight. I mean, I'm telling you, it's a mirror. It's a mirror to how you live your lives.
Can I?
Sure, say anything you want.
Okay. I know it's probably not going to be good, but I have been under so much stress with her, and I haven't been able to keep myself organized. I don't remember that I didn't know there was discharge documents. I didn't know I had them. We had to go through my boxes of stuff. I have it all over the house. I had to go through it numerous times to try and find it. And I was working since, the first phone call, trying to find this, trying to find that, trying to take these pictures, trying to do all the stuff that I had to do. So
That's a good story.
I worked hard.
That's a good story, but the fact is, you said, I don't want to do it, talk to her.
No. She's an adult.
Yes.
I cannot get her medical records. She has to give them authorization.
I have my producer standing over here at the microphone, Amy Jo. She was in those conversations, and she's over there shaking her head no, that you're just full of it.
We did ask for the discharge papers several times, and we were looking for the discharge papers from whenever she was institutionalized, and the ones that the last time was age 16. So she was a minor at the time, and it did take us all those hours to finally get it.
I didn't think I had them.
Well, no, you don't get to change your story now.
No, I said that.
No, you don't get to change your story now. I'm trying to make a point here.
I got your point.
That is crucial to what I'm trying to establish with you two people.
Okay.
Now, you can be right or you can be happy, but you can't be both.
Okay.
All right, we'll be right back. So you really don't own it at all.
Okay.
Thank you. Can you look at yourself for 1 second?
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil.
The media has dubbed him the frat boy cannibal killer.
For the first time, the boy's father speaks out. All-new Dr. Phil. Plus, on Monday, Burke Ramsey breaks his silence. That's Monday.
Closed captioning provided by
Abdominal pain.
What do you think you do to contribute to the toxic nature of this relationship?
I guess lose my temper when I'm pushed against the wall now.
You said I lose my temper, but then you justified it by her pushing you against the wall. So you really don't own it at all.
Okay.
I'm sorry?
Thank you.
What's your contribution?
I mean, I have no self-control when it comes to her anger, screaming, constant name-calling, like unnecessary, taking things from her, and it's just wrong and bad, and I want to have that self-control because I can't change her, I can only change myself. So.
I have a question. Her cousin had the same exact behaviors, the anger outbursts and the irrationality and the inability to follow through and, you know, doing nothing with his life. And he's dead now.
You look at yourself for 1 second.
You two have a toxic relationship. You need to learn how to communicate. I don't think you two should interact outside the presence of a professional.
I agree.
Seriously, and I would like to get you some help, some couples therapy, really, some help communicating. And here's what I predict. I predict in a very short period of time, this relationship can get a good deal better. I give this a really good prognosis.
Good.
And I mean, you're already much calmer.
I want you to know that I never wanted her to be an extension of me.
You're already much calmer.
Really?
Aren't you?
Not really. Because I still don't want, well, I should let you finish, but.
You're not being hyper.
I was hyper before. I was nervous.
Okay, I want you guys, I'm going to put you down in the audience because we're going to do one other story quickly, and I want you guys to watch it. Okay?
Yeah, but my big thing is that I don't feel like I can go home and have her in my house.
I'm going to get you help right now.
Okay.
Next, we're going to talk to a mother who we met 2 years ago when she was fighting for custody of her 2 daughters from her own mother. They were at each other just like these two. We're going to find out what happened with that custody dispute when we come back.
I learned that my daughter was involved in prostitution. I told her, Jamie, if you choose this lifestyle, I cannot let you have your children.
I don't think prostitution is wrong.
Honesty, Jamie. You are not honest with me.
What are you going to do about it?
What am I going to do about it? I'm going to call the Dr. Phil show.
We're identical twins. We're both anorexic and bulimic.
You get out here and you say, we want money for all of this. I told the producers to send you home. I can't help your girls if you get in the way. The best gift you can give your daughters
is get them the hell out of her house.
You're encouraging your kids to run away?
No, you guys didn't play the evidence. That's bull.
Put the damn thing up. I'm calling bull on your bull.
My daughter is out of control. 13 years old, extremely provocative.
Danielle vanished with the keys to my crew member's car.
She had a knife. Would you want me to stab you?
You're such a actress.
Hey, watch your mouth. She's 74 years old.
I don't care if she was 90.
Missing for 6 years.
Kyron's stepmother was the last known person to see the second grader.
I believe that Terry Horman knows where Kyron is.
Now,
you lied to the media.
Yes, because I was told to.
The exclusive interview.
Tell me why it's taken this long for you to speak out about this.
Your body was made for better things than rheumatoid.
It's days away from season 15.
Come join us in the audience for a live studio taping of one of the first shows of the new season.
The tickets are free. Go to drphil.com and click on Be in the Audience. You know, 2 years ago, we met Jamie when she was involved in a custody battle with her own mother, Allison, over Jamie's 2 daughters. Now, Allison said she became an instant mom to her grandchildren when Jamie abandoned them for life on the streets as a prostitute, and then breezed back through the door and said, "These girls are mine."
I learned that my daughter was involved in prostitution. Her choice was to choose pimp over her children, and I told her, Jamie, if you choose this lifestyle, I cannot let you have your children.
So why not give her children back? They're her children.
The answer is pretty obvious. She's a prostitute.
I've been arrested for prostitution probably 7 times. I started to use cocaine. I don't think prostitution is wrong.
You were having sex with between 10 and 11 men a day.
Sexual contact, yes.
Sometimes you were punished daily.
I was put into a bathtub full of ice. If I tried to get out, I would get slapped or pushed back into the bathtub. I decided that I wanted to be with my girls. I checked myself into a local rehab and I got a job.
For all intents and purposes, I have been the mother. And all of a sudden, when Jamie comes back to the house, she wants to play mom. Jamie hasn't been here. I have been here.
When was the last time you were in contact with your pimp?
A couple weeks ago, he contacted me.
A couple weeks ago? Honesty, Jamie, you are not honest with me.
What are you going to do about it?
What am I going to do about it? I'm going to call the Dr. Phil show. If Jamie doesn't follow the rules, Jamie is out.
Did you give a pimp $700?
I did, yes.
He's extorting money from you.
He was.
I think you're a victim in many respects here. But what strikes me is you're saying, wow, you're so controlling. The last place you lived, they put you in an ice bath and beat the crap out of you.
I'm upset because you care more about my kids than you cared about me when I was young. Don't sit here and act like you've just been trying and trying and trying all these years. You haven't. I want help for myself. I want help.
You're in the right place. Well, Jamie and Allison say there have been some big changes in Jamie's life since they last were here.
Before coming to Dr. Phil for help, my daughter Jamie was hopeless and lost.
My life was in turmoil. Dr. Phil sent me to a 30-day program called Origins. I was pregnant at the time, and it was the motivation I needed to turn my life around. At Origins, I learned that other people rely on your support.
It's been 2 years, and Jamie's progress has been tremendous. Before the show, I couldn't trust Jamie with anything. But now, she's been honest, she's been forthcoming. I am so proud of her.
You got your braces in there? There's something in there? No.
Before the Dr. Phil show, I had 100% custody of my grandchildren. After the Dr. Phil show, we went back to court, and she now has 50% custody of her children. Before, I felt I was completely responsible for the girls. But now, I have freedom.
I'm thankful that she gets to start living her life and I get to continue my life with my family, which makes me feel amazing.
I look forward to the day that I can give her 100% custody. I see a future where I didn't see one before.
I started a nonprofit organization called Sisters of the Streets to help women out of the sex industry. I did my first Purse Project outreach a couple weeks ago, walking around just to see if I can find any girls that may be out here working. Everything's donated. We have regular, shampoos, conditioners, little bags for your makeup. If I can get out, then they surely can too. I want to thank Dr. Phil for letting me know that I'm important and taking the time to help our family.
Wow. It is so good to see you, and it's so good to hear what's going on with you two.
It's great to be back. Thank you.
Yeah, that's an amazing update. So tell me, when you left here, you had a steep hill to climb. What was the hardest thing for you?
There's a lot of difficult things, but I think the hardest thing, thank you, was I didn't realize how hard it would be to get back into normalcy and just A lot of things that I think people do on a daily basis that I didn't know how to do. I had to learn how to be an adult. I had to learn how to be a woman. I had to learn how to be a mom again.
It's been 2 years, and I'm just now getting to the point where I absolutely trust her. I know that her focus is on her family.
And I really appreciate you coming back and sharing this.
Thank you, Dr.
It means a lot. All right. Coming up, from wife to mother to philanthropist to business entrepreneur, one of my favorite women is now a cover girl. You'll see what I mean after the break.
Do you need Dr. Phil's help? Text Phil to 885
WENY CBS.
After my motorcycle accident, Salino and Barnes got me $1.5 million, 12 times more than insurance offered.
They got me over $600,000, 9 times more than insurance offered.
I'm Steve Barnes. Is your accident case worth more than the insurance company says? Call us. You might be surprised.
I called. They got me $450,000.
What's your case really worth?
Call now and find out.
Call 888-8888.
Ready to get real? Go to drphil.com for advice on relationships, parenting, finances, and more. Plus, weigh in on your favorite episodes, share your stories, and find support in the Dr. Phil community. When you sign up for the community, you will automatically be subscribed to the Dr. Phil Show newsletter. Log on to drphil.com today.
Okay, Labor Day has come and gone. Summer is officially over, and now all that is left are the memories and the photographs.
Well, speaking of photographs, I happen to have a cover girl right next to me. I am proud to say that Robin was chosen for the cover and the inside spread for a special Hamptons edition of a big East Coast magazine.
Well, yes, thank you. It was such an honor to spend the entire day being photographed by John Russo at our home.
And they capped off the article with a party in your honor at the Hamptons. Which turned into quite the girls' trip. I got left home.
Sorry, dear. It was all girls.
Yeah, I didn't seem to fit in this crowd. Take a look.
Incredible. I'm here at home today having an absolute ball, shooting my cover of the Hamptons issue for a magazine. And I have to tell you, we are having so much fun. The photographer is brilliant.
Absolutely beautiful. Yes, love that.
He's picked amazing locations here at home, so I can't wait for all of you to see it. So I'll see you in the Hamptons for our fabulous cover issue party.
The atmosphere tonight is vibrant, it's bright, and it's Montauk, so it's fun, it's hip, it's trendy.
I'm here tonight in the Hamptons hosting this white party. It was such an honor that they came to our home to shoot this cover and then to launch it here in the Hamptons. I am just so happy. My favorite part of the cover shoot, Philip was there watching all of it. I have to say that was my favorite part. I had no idea what dress they would pick for the cover, but I was very happy to see that beautiful flowing dress. And I remember when that picture was taken, I turned around and I grabbed that dress. There it was.
I'm proud to be at the helm of the Dr. Phil Show going into its 15th season. One of the things I've gotten out of doing the show was the bond that I made with this amazing woman. And I hope that she knows that I am her greatest cheerleader.
It's shocking that at 62 years old, that photographer kept calling me a cover girl. I was like, what?
Robin is a friend. She is a role model. She really wants to bring the best to women everywhere. And I find that inspiring.
Tonight's white party has just been fabulous, amazing. And to think that I got to come here and host it, it feels like I'm walking on air. And it has been such an honor to be here. Thank you so much.
I gotta say, that looked like a good time, and that issue of Bella Magazine is on stands now.
That's right. And everyone in the audience is going to go home with a copy of it.
Oh, all right. Of course, it's not all glitz and glamour for Robin. She works really hard. In fact, I don't know when she sleeps. I know she does because I reach over there and she's there. One of the projects she and her team have been focusing on is her newest line, Me Oh My. That spells mom, M-O-M, which consists currently of 9 products to make life easier for moms.
That's right. With kids heading back to school, we offer all kinds of products like sticky stackers, sticky notes, and pin sets. Along with that, handy candy anti-wipes for those messy little fingers, nosy cozies to put in your child's backpacks, and since most teachers don't allow gum, maybe moms can sneak a little case of my kissy-permissy breath mints in there for those after-lunch bad breath moments.
Yeah. All of these products are available on our website, robinmcgrawrevelation.com. Log on to drphil.com and robinmcgrawrevelation.com for your chance to receive a free giveaway.
Everyone here in the audience gets the entire Me Oh My collection.
All right. I want to thank all of my guests today.
Bounce, bounce. All the girlies bounce. Take them to my house. Turn the party out. Bounce, bounce, bounce. All the girlies bounce. Take them to my house. Turn the party out.
You warned me 1,000 times. Memories can kill ya, but I didn't hear ya. I thought that I could fly, but woke up on the asphalt. I swear there was still a storm. I've always been naive. Call it